Hello, Uta Hagen here of Trans Widow Uta Hagen YouTube channel and WordPress blog, utahagengrasswidow.wordpress.com. That blog link is always in the notes, usually at the end of the notes under each video. If you would like me to tell your story of how the Genderland woo affected your life and your family, you can use the contact form there at the WordPress blog. I'm really hoping that I will have more trans widows contacting me to answer my survey 20 questions to ask a trans widow. We are at 64 right now. I really would like to get to 100 by the time I get my next book ready to publish. That is going to be called The Trans Widow Chronicles, Leaving and Healing. And I do recommend going to Lime Soda Films YouTube channel, where the documentary I'm in the second half, Behind the Looking Glass, has 153,000 views now. And where Vaishnavi Sundar, the wonderful, beloved filmmaker, has now posted Angela's story. And Angela's story is like a younger generation version of my story. I think she and her husband are probably now in their late 30s or something like that, and I'm in my late 60s. And there are many, many parallels there. Oh, and please let me know, because I tried to post it here on the community pages. And when I first tried, it said that this is not publicly available. So please let me know in the comments or contact me through the blog to tell me whether you are able to access Angela's story at Lime Soda Films YouTube channel. I guess it's possible that it was put just for we who appeared in the film. I just honestly, I do think it's probable that it's supposed to be public. So anyway, just do go to Lime Soda Films, lime like the green citrus fruit, Lime Soda Films YouTube channel, and watch everything that's there. Everything is just excellent. Okay, the good news is Italy saw the light and has now officially banned puberty blockers, that is gonadatrophin agonists, which operate on the pituitary gland to prevent normal pubertal adolescent growth for children who think that that's what they need to do, is to postpone adolescence. And so there was a pretty large meeting of various Italian medical groups, like Endocrine Society. There was a Gender something Society, Children's Society of Psychiatry, their medical association. There were I think about 40 individuals who participated in a vote. And the ban on puberty blockers won by a landslide. And those who want to cling to these dangerous treatments of giving chemicals to the pituitary gland, they did not win. I think there were maybe 15 votes for remaining with this kind of treatment, and there were at least 25 votes against, maybe more. And so that is pretty clear where the direction that the Italian medical field is taking, and they are following Sweden, Denmark, Norway, Finland, the UK, and to some degree France, in banning the use of gonadatrophin agonists um, on those who are under 18. And of course, if you're an adult, then you've probably already completed puberty. And we'll see how the rest of this plays out. My advice to the Italians is, yes, it's good to recommend psychotherapy, which is what the medical associations were recommending instead of immediately putting children on these chemicals. And I would say that there should also be a program that would be like a home-based version of going to the spa, which is like the old-fashioned European spas where you went to take the water, some kind of mineral water or something, and it was supposed to be curative, and you were supposed to relax and take walks and have baths in these healthy waters, and it was supposed to help people who were depressed and stuff like that. And walking in the woods and along nature trails and stuff like that was kind of part of it. And my advice is find the Wellness Moves here at Trans Widow Uta Hagen YouTube channel for females who need to regain their mind-body connection. And for males, I am recommending this primal fitness workout routine that I, now with our Paul, who has left off his ideation of being female through partially use of this primal fitness movement routine. This is how I see it. The stress is manifested physically in the vagus nerve, the largest nerve going from the brain down into the gut. And having all these nervous, anxious feelings overstimulates the vagus nerve. But right next to it and right in front of it is your abdominal wall. And if you work on wellness and strength and coordination in your abdominal wall through healthy, well-designed exercises, then the stress in the vagus nerve is kind of bypassed. And I really feel that the medical people and the psychological people need to be recommending that while you're, yes, going through whatever trauma you might have experienced as a child, you are also needing the mind-body connection, and the with traumatized kids or even adults, when you are reliving and talking through what happened to you so that you can understand your psyche, the anxiety can kick up. And so walking, I like the stick walking with the Lecky sticks, Leki, and I just did it today. And I like the floor exercises. The primal fitness also, I've adopted this thing of sort of creeping along the floor backwards and forwards on all fours. And I think there's something, it was really amazing for me to try to do this as a former, professionally trained dancer. I had to laugh because I had to kind of like learn this coordination, coordinating. But it is, again, the opposition. It's moving your left leg and your right arm and your right leg and your left arm and creeping this way. And I think that is very important. All that diagonal lines across the body, all of that is very, very important for the mind-body connection. And I even think that, there's a Leonardo da Vinci connection. He's the one who drew that gorgeous anatomy picture with, that clear diagonal, the arms up and the legs, your body in sort of an X. And I think that these movements, walking, creeping, rolling around on the floor. All of this is not only good for your balance and your muscle tone and everything, it also keeps your mind in your body. And I believe that what we've lost as humans in our industrialized and post-industrial and tech society is we've lost the connection to the out of doors, and we've lost naturalistic body movement things. And now I just want to bring up one other thing. And this has to do with, you could ask, how did we come here? How did we come to this place where Sweden, Denmark, Norway, Finland, France, the UK, and now Italy are having to ban these damaging treatments, which, were known to be possibly damaging from the beginning, from back when, Steensma, De Vries, and Cohen-Kettenis were doing that 2014 experiment in the Netherlands. They all have conflicts of interest. They needed to do the type of analysis that these medical bodies in Italy just completed. The gender or transsexual or whatever you want to call it, the cross-sex world, as I call it, was off on its own in both medicine and in mental health. And so how is it that these people have conflicts of interest once they've gotten into this pro-trans medicalization, believing and convincing their patients that you can change sex? Well, for example, Mark Bowers, Dr. Bowers, the famous surgeon who basically, in a way, owns the town of Trinidad, Colorado, where there is one of those surgical clinics. And so this is the problem that has been revealed with WPATH, World Professional Association for Transgender Health, is that, Mark Bowers is a male, fathered 3 children, is still married to a woman named Anne, although they don't live together. Mark Bowers has the gall to say, oh, well, we're like sisters now. I'm sure that Anne doesn't feel that way, but I assume that the reason she's putting up with this is that he leaves her alone and sends money. So my understanding is that she and the 3 children live in Seattle, and he's been back and forth between Colorado and California, I believe. Okay, so Mark Bowers, the former WPATH president who contributed to the latest standards of care, it's just the gall that these people who are basically a lobbying group put out a guide that they call standards of care. Because obviously, if Mark Bowers is a surgeon making lots of money from altering permanently a lot of male bodies and making a tube out of the genital material that they cut off and calling that tube a neo-vagina, and it's not going to function like a vagina in any way, because the vagina is the birth canal. So I think if it was accurately called the birth canal, let's just change the language. Okay, we'll put a birth canal into you. The guy doesn't want to give birth through a birth canal. No way. No. Even if they could sustain a pregnancy inside of his gut, a natural childbirth like I had, like my ex-husband claims he had, is not something that would be possible. Okay. He said in a separate deposition that he made over $1 million from performing gender surgeries just in the year 2023. So this is a person who makes money from this, probably has invested, somebody look into the financials, in that pharma, and he's, advocating medical transition and gain notoriety for performing this on Jazz Jennings. And this Standards of Care number 8 from, I think, earlier in 2024 states that Mark-Marci Bowers has no conflicts of interest at all in this. Now, how could this be? How could this be? And this is what DeVries and Cohen-Kettenis and Steensma said in 2014 when they published their study, saying that although 2 people died, 15 people dropped out, and they didn't do long-term follow-up, they said they had positive results with, that study, and they decided to turn it into the Dutch protocols. So I need to go back to baking all this cookie dough that I've mixed up. I will try to get the recipes out and put them on my blog soon, so you'll have them all in one place. I decided to try an apricot raspberry version of the date bars. So I will put that all in my blog. And for now, I wanted to see, yeah, there's a little bit of the woods. So safe travels for any of you who are traveling for the holidays. And I am more hopeful than I've been. I am more hopeful with the changeover to 2025 than I was last year with the changeover to 2024. Be well, and as Irene of Irene Brit USA says, God willing, we'll see each other in the next time.